Unique. One time, Magic Johnson was asked about his, telepathy with James Worthy, how he always seemed to know where they were at on the court together. He said, "We definitely have a connection. It's like we have ESPN." What's up, y'all? It is March 18th, 2024. I am Tony Styles. He is Unique. We are the Hoop Storians.
What up?
Let's get into this day in NBA history. This day in NBA history, March 18th, 1988. The Golden State Warriors retire Rick Barry's uniform, 24, joining it with only three other people at the time: Al Attles, Tom Mishary, and Nate Thurman. Even Wiltz wasn't retired back then. Um, do you see how many jerseys do you see getting retired for the Warriors out of the championships that they won?
Um, Clearly Steph's is gonna get retired.
Statue
Uh,
too.
he's probably gonna get a statue as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. Who
Clay.
else? I was thinking about Clay because I don't feel as though they're gonna let Steph get his retired without Clay. But then again, is Scottie Pippen's jersey retired?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. I feel like Clay's would be. He's I don't Where I'm hesitant is with Dre, but I don't know. Maybe he'll get his jersey retired as well. But I feel as though those three, more than likely, anybody else, I don't know.
Break it down on a pie. Like, how much do you think pie chart? What would you say the split is for Draymond's getting retired? Because I'm at 100% for him.
Dre, I mean, it's a high percentage. Like, I think Dre's probably like 75%. Like, it's one of those situations where it depends on how his career ends. Because you know how if you end your career a certain way, you can be blackballed by the league. So it really just depends on how the league feels about him. As
Hmm.
far as should his jersey be retired due to his contributions, yeah, because they were the core, they had some pieces that got switched and swapped and everything like that. But those three were a big part of the success that the Warriors have seen. So yeah, I don't see why, other than like I said, his personality. If they got an issue with him after he leaves, then they might try not to get his jersey retired. But other than that,
What about KD?
yeah, KD for the Warriors, I don't know.
I'd say yeah, they retire his. I mean, he was only there
Yeah,
3 years. They went to the finals all 3 years.
yeah.
Back-to-back titles, only back-to-back titles in their history. So I'd say yeah. Here's the one where it gets tricky with me, and if I was them, I would do this, but it's up to them. What about Andre Iguodala? Would you retire his
I
jersey?
feel, yeah, I do think they'll. The reason I think they'll retire Iggy's jersey is because he did get a Finals MVP. You feel me? Without necessarily having to be the best player on the team, but for the work that he did, so they contribute a lot of that first championship to him. He got a lot of respect for that, so I think they will retire that jersey because, to be honest, they weren't even supposed to win that first one.
So there you go. We got about five jerseys up and coming that are probably going to be retired for the Warriors, or at least five that could be on the docket. And that was this day in NBA history. All right, let's get into this. Let's say what's up to Sneed Mobile Tech. What's up?
What's going
Um,
on?
I I have actually been dreading these last two. We have been working team by team. We started off with the Southeast Division and we worked our way through each division. Obviously, with the Celtics and Lakers, all the titles are just way too many title teams. I narrowed it down to about 35 teams
Jesus.
that we could go
Okay, I
through.
didn't, I didn't know. I didn't know it was that deep on that end. Well, for sure.
Right. Right. So it's going to, like, for example, this is why it's 35 teams. I just figured something out earlier today. The 73 Celtics were the winningest team not to win a championship with 68 wins until the 2016 War. So we have a 68 win team that didn't even win the title. Um, they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals, I believe, too. So yeah, so that's why. So I have not been looking forward to this. Um, do you think there's any teams in the mix that you got that I forgot about?
I don't even see how that would be possible.
Okay, so let's get into it. Also, too, if anybody wants to join in on the voting, the they got something they want to say, go ahead, reach out to us. If you got a comment, something like that, I'll get you on. Let me see if
Oh
I can
yeah,
get
he loves a healthy debate,
this.
live voting, all that.
Yeah, is it, if I can get this pasted on here, I would. Well, I guess I can't get it pasted on here. Um, y'all got my Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram. I'll send you all the link if I got the link. So if you guys want to get on, hit me up on Instagram. Send me a message. But let's get into it. Like I said, if you guys want to vote in the comments, please do. We're gonna have our first one up. We're gonna have the 23 Celtics against the 57 Celtics. The 23 Celtics were 57 and 25. They beat the Hawks in 6. They beat the 76ers in 7. They beat the Heat in 7. Also, I'm going to give you first tiebreaker vote if you want. So they lost to the Heat in 7. Their main guys were Tatum, Brown, Smart, Horford, White, Brogdon, both Williams, and well, Blake Griffin did play one playoff game too. We'll go ahead and go against the oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say this too. They were fourth in points, fifth in opponents points allowed, first in simple rating score, 20th in pace, second in offensive rating, third in defensive rating, first in net rating. The 57 Celtics went 44 and 28. They were fifth in opponents points, first in pace, first in simple rating score, fifth in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, first in net rating. They beat the Nationals in a sweep, who you might know better now as the 76ers, and they beat the Hawks in 7. Their key guys were Bob Cousy, Bill Russell, Bill Sharman, Tommy Heinsohn, Jim Zloskov, Frank Ramsey, Arnie Rison, Andy Phillip, Jack. Who you got? 23 or 57?
I'll go with 57. More successful team.
Really? Well, they say the 57 finals might be the greatest ever when they beat the Hawks in 7. And no doubt it was a great finals, especially since game 7 was a 125, 123 win for the Celtics. And I believe the Hawks won by 2 in game 6 prior to that. And then there was another game where the Hawks, I'll tell you, no, this is what's crazy. So the Hawks won 125, 123, and 57 for game 1. And then they lost game 7, 123, 125. The exact opposite score. So nice bit nugget. I would go with 23. Just simply fact, I think they're a better team. They're a deeper
Better
team.
players.
They have almost 70 years of knowledge on them. So yeah, I would have 70. I would have 23 over 57, but it doesn't matter because you have the first tiebreaker. So we're going to you with it. So here you guys have it. We have 57 in a shocking twist and upset, beating the 2023 Celtics.
He said, really?
Yeah, it's shocking. Shocking. I didn't think you'd go that route. So next up, we're gonna go with the 58 Celtics. Um, they were 49 and 23. They were second in points, third in opponent points. They were seventh in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, first in net rating. They beat the Warriors in 5. Then they lost to the Hawks in 6. Their key guys were Kuzi, Russell, Sharman, Ramsey, Heinsohn, um, Jack Nichols, Sam Jones, and then we're going to go ahead and we are going to put them up against the 2022 Celtics, who also lost in the finals. They went 51 and 31, first in opponent points allowed, 12th in points, first in simple rating score, 24th in pace, 7th in offensive rating, second in defensive rating, second in net rating. They swept the Nets. They lost to the Bucks. They beat the Bucks in 7. They beat the Heat in 7. They lost to the Warriors in 6. Their key guys were Tatum, Brown, Smart, Horford, Grant Williams, Derek White, Robert Williams, Peyton Pritchard. Who you got? You got 22 or you got 58?
I got 22. You know, they actually made it. to the finals. That is a very talented group of, players and everything like that. So considering that and the fact, like I said, the success of getting through the Eastern teams like they did. So yeah, I'm going with 22. Um,
Yeah, I would go with 22 as well. Like I said, I just think it's far too much talent, too much too much everything really. Too much. I think they got better size, they got better athleticism, they're better shooters, they're better dribblers, they're
that is
better
true.
and that is Russell got MVP, but an All NBA second team in '58. Yeah, I don't know how they do things like that. For example, like Kevin Johnson has more All NBA appearances than All Star games. So supposedly you're a top 24 player if you make the All Star game, and you're a top 15 player if you're on an All NBA. No,
Crazy.
I like 59. I like 59, Russell. I like that 9 points a game, 30 rebounds, 32% from the field, winning titles, Russell. That's crazy. That is
Yeah,
some crazy
spreading it out.
that is some crazy shit right there. Okay, and just to let you know, I'll probably go into deeper breakdowns once we get more teams, but I'm trying to
Yeah, yeah, we got to get to it.
yeah, I'm trying to like whittle my way through all of them.
My bad.
Next up, yeah, no, next up we got the 20 Celtics. Um, they were 48 and 24, ninth in points, second in points allowed, fifth in simple rating score, 17th in pace. They beat the Sixers in a sweep. They beat the Raptors in seven. They lost to the Heat in six in the conference finals. Their key guys were Tatum, Brown, Smart, Walker, Hayward, Thice, Wanamaker, both Williams. We're going to go ahead and put them up against the 59 Celtics. They were 52 and 20, first in points allowed, sixth in opponents' points, first in pace, first in simple rating score, fifth in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, first in net rating. They beat the Nationals in seven. They swept the Lakers in four, obviously. Bill Russell, Bob Cousy, Heinsohn, Sharman, Frank Ramsey, Sam Jones, Casey Jones. Those are some of their key guys. Who do you got?
59.
You got 59. Ooh, well, this is where I'm gonna supersede you. I'm gonna go with 20 because, like I
Fair.
said, I just think we are just too deep in
That's fair.
it.
I get it. I get it.
No, so that is fine. Like I said, sorry for the once we get these whittled down, we'll give you all a better breakdown than this. But yeah, like I said, I just think they got way too much talent and all that. So next up is the 60 Celtics. They were fifth in opponents' points, first in points allowed, first in simple rating score, first in pace, fifth in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, first in net rating. They beat the Warriors in six. They beat the Hawks in seven. Their key guys were Bill Russell, Bob Cousy, Frank Ramsey, Tom Heinsohn, Bill Sharman, Gene Coley, Casey Jones, Sam Jones. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put them up against the 2012 Celtics. They went 39 and 27, 26 in points per game, second in points allowed, 21st in pace, 12th in simple rating score, 27th in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, 11th in net rating, beat the Hawks in six, beat the 76ers in seven, lost to the Heat in seven. Their key guys were Rondo, Pierce, Garnett, Allen, Brandon Bass, Avery Bradley, Keon Dooling, Michael Petrus. Who you got? 12 or 60?
um, 60.
Why are you going with 60 over 12?
So it seems like 12, even with the talent that they had, it seems like they were running into a little more struggle. I feel like, yeah, for the talent that they had, they probably should have done a little better. But I also feel as though, as a team, though, I just feel as though 60 may have had a more complete collection of players.
Mm-hmm.
That makes any sense. Like I
No, it's
feel as
cool.
though there were some good players. There were some good players on 12. Don't get me wrong, but I feel as though their players weren't really bordering greatness the same way.
I got you. Yeah, I would go with 12 too. Like I said, just over the simple talent and all that. Doesn't really matter
Makes
though.
sense.
I am outvoted. Um, so who we got? So
60s
you
probably
voted
had the best. Russell, yeah.
right. So No, the only thing that I would say about that, and they might have been their best dynasty team, it's that I think Pettit and the Hawks, they took them to 7 nonetheless, and I don't think that was the Hawks' best team at all. So I think Pettit was
Mm.
as close as we got to Bill Russell's kryptonite. I always think Pettit gave him the best series. Like everybody says Wilt, but no, I think Pettit was definitely a harder, stiffer competition for him than him. Um, what teams do we have move on so far? Did you have them written down?
So yeah, I got it written now. So far, 57, 22, 20, and
61, right?
61 or 60.
We just did, well,
I
60. I'm
thought he
sorry.
said
We just
60.
yeah, we
Yeah,
just did the 60 team, right?
yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure I got that right. So okay, so next up we're gonna have 61 against 2011. In 61, they went 57 to 22. The Celtics, third in points allowed, or second in points allowed, third overall in points, first in simple rating score, first in pace, eighth in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, first in net rating. By the way, eighth in offensive rating was league bottom since there was only 8 teams back then. Uh,
Mm.
they were 4-1 against the Nationals, 4-1 versus St. Louis. Same key core guys: Russell, Kuzi, Ramsey, Heinsohn, Sharman, Jones, Sanders. Um, Up against the 2011 team, they were 56 and 26. They were 22nd in pace, sixth in simple rating score, 23rd in points, first in points allowed, 18th in offensive rating, second in defensive rating, sixth in net rating. They beat the Knicks in a sweep. They lost to the Heat in 5, where Rondo and Shaq were hurt. Key guys: Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Jermaine O'Neal, Glenn Davis, Jeff Green, Delonte West, Shaquille O'Neal. Who you got? You got 11 or 61?
I got 11. That's a lot of firepower. Yeah,
I feel you.
that.
That's why I got 11 as well. Not only that, something like that when Shaq, Rondo, Garnett, Allen, and Pierce played, they were something like 20 and 5 or something like that. They were just killing teams too. So the problem was Shaq could just never stay on the court. I think that out of all the Garnett Celtics teams, I think that was the best one by potential if everybody could have stayed healthy.
Yeah, yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's something. Well, let's move on to the next one. So next up, we have the 2010 Celtics. They went 50 and 32. They were 19th in points, fifth in opponents' points allowed, 10th in simple rating score, 22nd in pace, 15th in offensive rating, fifth in defensive rating, ninth in net rating. They beat the Heat in 5. They beat the Cavs in 6. They beat the Magic in 6. They lost to the Lakers in 7, where the refs screwed them. And let's see. It was Rajon Rondo, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, Kendrick Person, Glenn Davis, Rasheed Wallace, Tony Allen, Nate Robinson. They even had Michael Finley on that team. We're going to put them up against uh, who we just played. We just did the 61 Hawks. We eliminated. So, the 61 Celtics, 62 Celtics. They went 60 and 20. They were third in points, first in opponents' points, second in pace, first in simple rating score, seventh in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, first in net rating. They beat the Warriors in 7. They beat the Lakers in 7. Key guys was Bill Russell, Sam Jones, Bob Cousy, Tommy Heinsohn, Tom Sander, Casey Jones, Frank Ramsey. Who you got? You got the 62 Celtics or you got the 10 Celtics?
For this one, it's gonna come down to talent. Yeah, I'm going with 10. I'm sorry, I'm going with 10. I wanted to
Yeah,
say talent, but 62 is talented too. But I'm going with 10. Better, younger talent.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with that. I'm gonna go with the 10 as well. If the Celtics started Tony Allen, had Ray Allen, not in 2010, Ray Allen was balling in 2010. I think he even had a 50-point game where he set the record for most threes in a finals or something like that. I don't know if I like Ray Allen coming off the bench in 2010. In 2012, they were starting Avery Bradley over him anyway, so definitely. But by then, Tony Allen had moved on to Memphis. So no, I don't like Tony Allen over Ray Allen at that point in their careers.
Only defensively, but even that, right? Got defense.
Yeah, you got a little something, something. Um, okay, so next we're gonna go ahead and we are going to do the 63 Celtics. They are 58 and 22, third in points, second in opponents' points, first in simple rating score, first in pace, ninth in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, first in net rating. They beat the Royals in 7. They beat the Lakers in 6. Key people: Russell, Jones, Heinsohn, Kuzi, Sanders, Havlicek. Havlicek's rookie year. Casey Jones, Frank Ramsey, Kyle Lovett. We're going to put them up against the '09 Celtics, who were like 31 and 5 before went down for the season or whatever it was, something crazy. They were 62 and 20, 11th in points, third in opponents' points, 18th in pace, second in simple rating score, sixth in offensive rating, second in defensive rating, second in net rating. They beat the Bulls in 7. They lost to the Magic in 7. Their key guys were Rondo, Allen, Pierce, Perkins, Davis, Scalabrini, House, Stephon Marbury, Kevin Garnett. Who you got? You got '09 or 63?
Oh no, they give you everything you need at a faster pace.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with '09 too because what we saw, like the start, they started off better. Like a lot of people think that's the best Garnett team. Like I said, I think because we saw that Shaq play sporadically. Um, I think that was their best team, but we didn't see it consistently enough. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with that too. So the '63 Celtics are out. Next up, we got the '08 Celtics. We have the '08 Celtics. They were at 66 and 16. And just to let you know, Woodish thinks that Bill Russell dude was pretty solid in his opinion.
He said what? Oh, that Bill Russell. I mean, he was
He said
alright,
he
I
said Bill
guess.
Russell pretty solid.
Bill Russell was alright, I
Yeah, dude was
suppose. I
pretty all
mean,
right.
he, alright.
I want them to do an un.
He
I want
he
them
he
to
he
do a.
won a
I
couple.
want them to do an unofficial total. Yeah, I want them to do an unofficial total of his blocks and steals. Same thing with Wilt and those guys back then. But '08 Celtics, they went 66 and 16th. They were 11th in points, second in opponents' points, 19th in pace, first in simple rating score, 10th in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, first in net rating. Beat the Hawks in 7, the Cavs in 7, the Pistons in 6, the Lakers in 6. Key guys: Pierce, Allen, Garnett, Rondo, Perkins, Posey, Brown, Cassell, Poe, Glenn Davis. Next, we're going to have them go against the '64 Celtics. They went 59 and 21. They were second in points, second in opponents' points, first in pace, first in simple rating scored, ninth in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, first in net rating. They beat the Royals in 5. They beat the Warriors in 5. Russell, both Joneses, Heinsohn, Sanders, Havlicek, Willie Knowles, Frank Ramsey, Clyde Lovett were like some of their key guys. Who you got? You got '08 or '64?
I think I went with '08. Yeah, I went with '08 on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with '08 too. Like he said, I think that Garnett guy was pretty solid in my opinion. Uh, and I think with like over 40 years of advantages, it's just gonna have to go to him. And I'm sorry that's the case. But um, next up after that, we're gonna go ahead and we are gonna do the '88 Celtics.
Yeah.
So the '88 Celtics, they went 57 and 25. They beat the Knicks in 4. They beat the Hawks in 7. Lost to the Pistons in 6. They were 17th in defensive rating, first in net rating, first in offensive rating, uh, 17th in pace, first in simple rating score, 14th in opponents' points, third in points per game. They're going to go up against the '65 Celtics. They went 62 and 18. Um, Now this is one of my favorite Celtics teams. Uh, that I think they have a chance for the argument, the best, one of their best ones ever. Third in points, first in opponents' points, first in pace, first in simple rating score, seventh in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, first in net rating. Beat the Sixers in 7, beat the Lakers in 5. Bill Russell, Sam Jones, Casey, Tom Santa, John Havlet, Tommy Heinsohn were some of their main guys. Who you got, 65 or '88?
Wrong with the champs. 65.
I'm gonna go with 65 as well. I just think they're too deep. I think by then McHale's got a bad foot, Larry Bird's got a bad back, and even then, we're playing. Hopefully that they're playing, at their peak, but I don't know if they're playing that. Prime Bird versus Prime Russell. I wouldn't say '88 is Prime Bird. I would say like '86, '85 is Prime Bird. But
Yeah.
by then, like I said, he had already hurt his back. But nonetheless, that's cool. Uh, Still very good matchup and still very good Bird and all that. I guess you have an argument for Bird being at his prime, like the tail end. Next up, we're gonna go the '87 Celtics. They went 59 and 23. They were fourth in opponents' points, sixth in points per game, ninth in defensive rating, third in offensive rating, third in net rating. Swept the Bulls, beat the Bucks in seven, beat the Pistons in seven, lost to the Lakers in six. Key guys: Larry Bird, Dennis Johnson, Kevin McHale, Danny Ainge, Robert Parrish, Jerry Stitchings, Greg Kite, Bill Walton in his last hurrah. We're going to go ahead and put them up against the 66 Celtics. They beat the Royals in five. They beat the Sixers in five. They beat the Lakers in seven. They were 54 and 26, seventh in points, first in opponents' points, fifth in pace, first in simple rating score, eighth in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, first in net rating. Key guys like Bill Russell, John Havlicek, Sam Jones, Casey Jones, Tom Sanders, Larry Siegfried, Don Nelson, Mel Counts, Willie Knowles. Who you got?
66.
Why?
They won.
Cool. Yeah, I'll go with 66 too. I like the fact that, like I said, they got what, five Hall of Famers on their thing at that time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're getting to that point where they just got all kinds of just legends. Is at that point now. But yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, I think I know who's going to win this next matchup. But let's do it anyway. We got the 67 Celtics, 60 and 21, fourth in points, first in opponents' points, second in simple rating score, seventh in pace, fourth in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, second in net rating. They beat the Knicks in four. They lost to the Sixers in five. Key guys: Bill Russell, John Havlicek, Sam Jones, Larry Siegfried, Casey Jones, Bailey Howe, Tom Sanders, Don Nelson. And I was surprised to learn Wayne Embry actually played on that team. Um, then we have the '86 Celtics. They went 67 and 15, eighth in points, third in opponents' points, 16th in pace, first in simple rating score, third in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, first in net rating. They swept the Bulls. They beat the Hawks in five. They swept the Bucks, and they beat the Rockets in six. They had key guys like Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge, Robert Parrish, Bill Walton, Scott Wedman, Greg Kite, Jerry Stitching, Rick Carlisle. Who you got?
86. Another one of those deep Celtics teams. But yeah, I got 86.
Yeah, I got 86 as well. They have an argument for the greatest team ever versus a team that not only didn't win the title, was the only team Bill Russell's never make to not make it to the finals that year. So I got them as well. After that, we have the '85 Celtics. They went 63 and 19, sixth in points, fifth in opponents' points, third in simple rating score, 13th in pace, second in offensive rating, fifth in defensive rating, third in net rating. Beat the Cavs in four, beat the Pistons in six, beat the 76ers in five, lost to the Lakers in six. Key guys: Larry Bird, Dennis Johnson, Robert Parrish, Danny Ainge, Kevin McHale, Cedric Maxwell, Scott Wedman, Ray Williams, um, Quinn Buckner. Let's see, we're going to go ahead and put them up against the '68 Celtics. They went 54 and 28, eighth in points, second in points, seventh in pace, third in simple rating score, eighth in offensive rating, second in defensive rating, third in net rating. They beat the Pistons in six. They beat the 76ers in seven. They beat the Lakers in six. Key guys were Bill Russell, John Havlicek, Sam Jones, Bailey Howe, Don Nelson, Larry Siegfried. Who you got? 68 or 85?
68.
Ooh, well, good thing that the veto goes on me and it's my turn right now because I got 85. I think they are just too deep, too better. Like I said, I think we got old Bill Russell versus prime Bird. I got to go with Bird.
You know why I picked 68, to be quite honest?
Why is
Because
it?
because we already got 86, which is pretty much the same team, but winning. But that was really why. But yeah,
Well, we got no Cedric Maxwell on 86, and we got Bill Walton. That's like the major difference.
yeah,
So
that's true.
up next we have the 80. No, we're gonna go with the '69 Celtics.
Hold on, hold on,
Um,
hold on. That
what's up?
that went to you, right? So we're going by 85.
Yeah, we're going with 85. Then you got the next. You got the next tiebreaker. Now we got the 69 Celtics. They went 48 and 34. They were 10th in points, second in opponents' points, fifth in pace, second in simple rating score, 10th in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, second in net rating. They beat the Sixers in 5. They beat the Knicks in 6. They beat the Lakers in 7. In the famous game where the balloons had you stay up in the rafters at the Great Western Forum. They had guys like John Havlicek, Bill Russell, M. Bryant, Bailey House, Sam Jones, Larry Siegfried, Don Nelson. We're going to put them up against the 84 Celtics. They went 62 and 20. Um, Points, they were seventh. Opponents' points, they were fourth. First in simple rating score, 15th in pace, third in defensive rating, sixth in offensive rating, first in net rating. They beat the Bullets in 4. They beat the Knicks in 7. They beat the Bucks in 5. And they beat the Lakers in 7. They had Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Dennis Johnson, Cedric Maxwell, Kevin McHale, Gerald Henderson, Danny Ainge, Scott Wedman, Quinn Buckner, ML Carr. Who you got, 84 or 69?
84.
I got 84 as well. Like I said, they're both title teams, but like I said, we got more of a prime Bird versus a old Russell. So
Mm.
I'm with it as far as I'm concerned. Let's see, who are we going with after this? Next up, we have the 72 Boston Celtics. They went 56 and 26. They were third in points, ninth in opponents' points, second in pace, fifth in simple rating score, fifth in offensive rating, fifth in defensive rating, fifth in net rating. They lost in the Eastern Conference Finals in 5 after beating the Hawks in 6. Their key guys were Havlicek, JoJo White, Dave Cowens, John Chaney, Don Nelson, Tom Sanders, Art Williams. Who? Well, let's see. We got the 72 Celtics, and we're going to put them up against the 83 Celtics, who went 56 and 26. They were seventh in points, 10th in opponents' points, sixth in pace, second in simple rating score, sixth in offensive rating, seventh in defensive rating, third in net rating. They beat the Hawks in 3, 2-1, and they got swept by the Bucks. Key guys: Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, Cedric Maxwell, Danny Ainge, Gerald Henderson, Tiny Archibald, Quinn Buckner. Who you got, 83 or 72?
83. Feel like that's a deeper unit time wise.
Yeah, like I said, I like Peak Bird over Peak Havlicek. Um, I know Jerry West wanted a chance to exact his revenge with the Celtics, but they just got mopped in the 72 finals, so they weren't really even a contender in that regard. Next up, we have the 82 Celtics. They went 63 and 19. They were fourth in points, eighth in opponents' points, eighth in pace, first in simple rating score, fourth in offensive rating, sixth in defensive rating, first in net rating. They they beat the Bullets in 5. They lost to the 76ers in 7. Key guys: Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Tiny Archibald, Cedric McHale, Kevin McHale, Gerald Henderson, ML Carr, Danny Ainge, and that's the 82 Celtics. Next up, we're going to go ahead and put them up against the 73 Celtics, who went 68 and 14, second in points, sixth in opponents' points, eighth in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, third in net rating. Beat the Hawks in 6, lost to the Knicks in 7. They had guys like Dave Cowens, JoJo White, John Havlicek, Paul Silas, Don Chaney, Don Nelson, Paul Westfall. So who you got? You got 73 or you got 82?
I'm going with 73. They got closer. Feel like they got a deeper unit.
No, I'm with you on that. So yeah, yeah, I like 73 as well. Let's move on to the 81 Celtics. They went 62 and 20, eighth in points, second in opponents' points, 16th in pace, third in simple rating score, fifth in offensive rating, fourth in defensive rating, third in net rating. They beat the Bulls in 4. They beat the 76ers in 7. They beat the Rockets in 6. Key guys: Larry Bird, Nate Archibald, Cedric Maxwell, Chris Ford, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, ML Carr, Ricky Roby, Gerald Henderson, and then we're going to put them up against, who do I want to put them up against? The 74 Boston Celtics, who they went 56 and 26. They were fourth in points, seventh in opponents' points, fifth in pace, third in simple rating score, fifth in offensive rating, sixth in defensive rating, third in net rating. They beat the Braves in six. They beat the Knicks in five. They beat the Bucks in seven. We got John Havlicek, Dave Cowan, JoJo White, Paul Silas, Don Chaney, Don Nelson, Paul Westfall. So there we go. We got 74 and 81, two championship teams. Who you got?
Mm. I feel
Young
like
Bird versus
maybe
Prime Hondo? Who you going with?
I went with Young Bird on that one actually. Yeah, I mean, I feel as though the success rate for him that season was a little better than Havlicek. So yeah,
You got the tiebreaker right now, right? Because I would go 74.
do I?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
you
do.
do. Okay,
Yeah, I
so
do.
we're moving 81 on, and 74 is gone. So next we're gonna go rookie season bird, 80 Celtics. They went 61 and 21. They were first in simple rating score. They were 12th in pace, second in offensive rating, fourth in defensive rating, first in net rating. They beat the Rockets in four, and then they lost to the Sixers in five. Key guys: Larry Bird, Nate Archibald, Cedric Maxwell, Dave Cowens, Chris Ford, ML Carr, Pete Maravich, Gerald Henderson. Next, we're going to put them up against the 75 Celtics. They went 60 and 22, sixth in opponents' points, third in points, second in simple rating score, seventh in pace, third in defensive rating, third in offensive rating, second in net rating. They beat the Rockets in five. They lost to the Bullets in six. Dave Cowens, JoJo White, John Havlicek, Paul Silas, Don Chaney, Don Nelson, Paul Westfall were their key guys. Who you got? You got 75 or 80?
I'm going with 75.
I would go with 75 over there too. I think they got too much experience. I think, like I said, it's rookie bird. And with that, we are out of the first round. That means the 76 Celtics are getting a bye and moving on. So,
6 moving on. So, one.
so there we go.
You
Okay,
want me to
so
read? Do you know who's moving on? Do you have them, or
okay,
you
so
want me to
so
say 'em?
so I got them. So I got the 2020 Celtics, the 2011. It's going to go by like chronological order. 2011, 2010, 2009, 2008, 86, 85, 84, 83, 81, 76, 75, 73, 66, 65, 60, and 57. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you were correct with 1980 versus 1975. Dave Cowens definitely wins this one. Okay, cool. So let's go 2020 versus 1957. Who you got?
2020 verse. Who you say? You said 57.
Versus 57.
So talent, shit is tough. Talent wise, I would go with 2020, but 57 is a winner. I'm going 57.
Okay, well, the tiebreaker's on me, right? Because I'm going 20.
All right,
So I'm going to go with talent over the winning. Like I said, I think 60
fair.
plus years of
That's fair.
basketball is fine. No, I don't.
That's real.
Next up,
I
we
get it.
next
Mhm.
up we got 2011 versus 1960. So we got Bill Russell, Bob Cousy versus the Shaq, Garnett, Rondo, Jermaine O'Neal. Did I say Ray Allen, Pierce, all those guys versus the Joneses, Heinsohn. Who you think? Who you got?
11. That's just a difficult team in any era to beat. Everybody healthy, yeah. Any era, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, no, I got 11 too. Like I said, I thought that was their best Garnett team. Next up, we got the 2010 who lost in the finals. Um, Celtics, the year they got Rasheed Wallace. They had the big four still with Rondo, Pierce, Allen, and Garnett up against 65. By then, we had lost guys like Cousy and Sharman, but we had guys like Havlicek, Sam Jones, Bill Russell. Who you got? You got 65 or you got 10?
I'm going with 10 on that one.
I'll go with 10 too. I think they were too much for 65. And it's not to say that Bill Russell ain't great or whatever, but I don't think he's better.
No.
And I don't think they would have the skills and all that. Up next, we have the '09 Celtics. Many people consider the best Celtics versus the '66 Celtics. Who you got out of those two?
Oh, this is crazy. Seems like I'm going all these young. Oh nine.
I would go '09 as well. Like I said, I think the years. I think there's too much talent there. I think they were playing inefficient basketball by then, and not only that, by then we started to see that was the last one of their consecutive championships that they won right before they lost. When Bill Russell came back as a player coach, they went from winning like 60, going from like 60 and 20, 62 and 18 to 54 and 28,
Right.
48 and 34. So I think they lost a step there. Up next, we have the '08 championship Celtics that they have milked like crazy off that one title versus the 73-68 win Celtics. Dave Cowens, John Havlicek, JoJo White. Who you got out of those two? 66 wins or 68 wins?
Um, I'm going with oh 08.
I'd go with '08 too because they won it, and plus, like I said, that's 35 more years of extra basketball being played. I would go with it too. Um, After that,
Especially
we
within
have,
that franchise.
especially with what?
I said, especially within that franchise, just the breed. You feel me? Just all of the history and everything. Those players coming up through that franchise. Yeah, they seeing the tapes of all of them from decades before. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say next up, we got '86 Celtics. Many consider the greatest team of all time versus the '75 Celtics. Cowens, Havlicek, White, Silas, Cheney, Nelson, Westfall. They won 60 games as well. Who you got, '86 or '75?
I'm going with 86.
I'm going with '86 as well. Like I said, I just think that's too much firepower. Next up, we have the team that got the first round bye. We have the '76 Celtics. They were 54 and 28. They were sixth in points, sixth in opponents' points, seventh in pace, third in simple rating score, sixth in offensive rating, third in defensive rating, fourth in net rating. They beat the Braves in six. They beat the Cavs in six. They beat the Suns in six. Key guys were Dave Cowens, JoJo White, Charlie Scott, John Havlicek, Paul Silas, Don Nelson. We're going to put them up against the '85 Celtics,
Mm.
who lost to the Lakers in six in the finals. Who you got, '76 or '85?
Shock. I'm actually going with the lose. I'm actually going with 85 on this one.
Is it your tiebreaker? Because I would go with '76.
I think it's yours. So okay, 76.
Well, write it down that it's your tiebreaker then, so we don't get it mixed up again. Because
All
I
right.
think I. All right, cool.
I think that was
Uh,
yours.
okay, then after that, then we're gonna go with we're gonna give it's gonna be the '83 Celtics versus the '81 Celtics. So in '81 we have a title, '83 we do not. If I had to guess you, I think you go to the title team, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Because
I'm
I'm
going with
leaning
the
toward
title team.
because I'll lean towards the '81 Celtics as well. That means '84 will get a bye, and we are moving on to the next round. You good? We got 9 teams left.
So, 76, 81, 08, 10, 20, 11, 9,
84.
84, and all right.
That's it.
All
All
right.
right. So first up, we're going to go with the 2020 team versus the '76 team. So we got the champions versus the non-champions. We got, like I said, on '76, we got Cowens, White, Scott, Havlicek, Silas. And then 2020, we got guys like, Tatum, Brown, Smart. Who you going with?
They didn't see as much success, but that unit is probably a little more talented. 2020.
So I'd go '76 here. I'm going to keep voting 2020 in. So tiebreakers on you. We're going to you 2020. All right, we got 2011 versus '81. So '81, we got rookie McHale, first year Parrish there, Larry Bird second year, they won the title. Versus the 2011 squad that did not win the title, but they had Rondo, Ray Allen, Pierce, Garnett, Shaq. Jermaine O'Neal. Who you going with? Because I'm already going to tell you the vote's going towards me. I got 11.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking 11. It was hard to go against Larry Bird, but at the same time, like he went. Yeah, I'm going with 11. Way too much going on.
Okay. Next, we have the 2010 Celtics. One with the same click plus Rashid, lost in the finals, versus the 84 Celtics, who won the title with, their trio plus Dennis Johnson.
84 versus who?
2010.
Oh, 10. 84.
I go 84 too. I'm gonna give them the heads up over the and plus I like 84 Bird down the clutch more than anything Boston has.
It's hard to go against
2010.
them.
No, I feel you on that. Okay, up next we have the 2009 Celtics versus the 86 Celtics.
Um, I went with 86 actually.
I I go with I go with 86 as well. So I'd go with 86 as well. They like I said, they were considered the greatest team of all time at one point. A lot of people still have them as the greatest team of all time. So we'll go ahead and go with that. All right. Up next, we are going to go ahead and do. We got 5 teams left.
Yep.
Uh, cool. What team got a bye before? Oh, 86, 84. Does it say
86.
86 got the bye?
I'm pretty sure it was 86.
All right. Well, then first up is the 2020 Celtics versus the 1986 Celtics. Who you got?
2020 verse 86. I'm going with 86
Why?
because 86 was a team that not only rose to the championship, but at the same time with the group. So they were able to take the group and unit that they had and actually translate that into a victory versus 2020 just having a bunch of talented people.
No, I feel you on that. And like I said, they had some of the best passing we had ever seen up until that point in time. Um, I think like someone like a Bill Walton, a Larry Bird, I think they'd really excel in this era, especially Bill Walton with bad feet, with the medical and his ability to defend and rebound and pass. So yeah, I think they would have. Yeah, they just had too much. Like I said, they had 2 MVPs on that team, and there was none on 2020. So yeah, I would definitely go with 86 as well. Um, After that, let's go with 84 versus 2008.
Okay. For this one, I'm going with 2008. I love 84, but I feel like by 2008, with what they were working with, if those two teams were to go against each other, I'd lean more towards 2008 with the younger talent. Also, no, I mean it's too much to go up against KG, Rondo, and all of them. So yeah, my bad. I
No,
know
no,
we
no, it's
run out
cool.
of time, but I'm going with yeah, I'm
No,
going
no,
with
no. We got all kinds of time now.
oh okay.
Like I said, we only got a couple matchups left, and we got about 10 minutes to expand on this. I would go with 84. It's your vote, so 2008's moving on. And obviously, I don't think there's a bad answer in these matchups, and that's why we have to devote an entire hour just to the Celtics alone. What I don't really like is if you remember that playoff series, they struggled. It was Game 7 against Atlanta. I think Atlanta won something like 40 games that year. So it was like 40 games versus 66 wins, and they're pushing them to 7. Next thing you know, then we struggle with Cleveland. And LeBron didn't play. LeBron had that great Game 7. You remember when him and Paul Pierce each dropped 40? I think LeBron dropped 45. Paul Pierce dropped 41, and they went just back and forth. But LeBron played like shit that entire series up until that game. Played terrible that series, went to 7. They were down 2-1 versus the Pistons, and that was an old Pistons team at that. They were just, living on the hay what's it, the gas of yesteryear. They were up 2-1. Um, that Lakers team, they didn't have Andrew Bynum. Um, I mean, they took a 2-0 lead, but if you remember Game 4, the Lakers were up big. It was the biggest comeback ever in the finals and all that for the Celtics or whatever. So yeah, I just think 84. I think Bird was, and I know that I don't have the numbers to find this, but Bird was a killer. Bird played the game so mentally above them. Like the KG shit talking wouldn't work with Bird. Like Bird, like KG trying to get in Bird's head, and especially at that time, like Garnett had lost a little bit, half step, not too much, but Bird, I just like Bird over him. I like Parrish over Perkins, like a motherfucker. Uh, I like, I mean, if you want to say Bird's your small forward, and that, I mean, I like McHale's with his post moves. I would love to see the relationship that they had, Kevin Garnett and Kevin McHale, be able to play each other one on one
I
because
think
they had a real tight relationship. I'd love to see that. What's up?
no, I was gonna say, KG. I know how you were saying he lost a step against that squad. KG, he would have picked it up. The reason I said it is because of how competitive he is, and also KG, he didn't really want to be, I don't want to say he didn't want to be the star, but he didn't want to be the main scorer. Like KG wanted to do other things when he went to Boston, but had he gone up against like that '84 team, the dog in him would have had him like, all right, yeah, I'm putting up buckets this time. You feel me? Because he was wet too. You feel me? So if he played more aggressively offensively, I think Boston would have seen a different level of success. He was kind of just playing within his role at that point in time. But
But hey, but here's the thing too. We also have to factor in what rules are we going with? Because if we're going with like 80s rules, where they get, because like for example, and I think it was in the no, it wasn't in 84. It was probably in 87. I want to say. But it was in one of those years. Robert Parrish started just punching Bill Lambier in the face multiple times. They were so Robert Parrish was
he
on
gets to
Bill
play after
Lambier's.
that.
Right. So yeah, hold on. Yeah. So he was on Bill Lambier's back. Like Lambier was like boxing him out, for offense. He was going for the offensive rebound. Parrish obviously was in the defensive rebounding position. Um, dude. So next thing you know, he just grabs Lambier from behind. He just starts punching him in the face like 6 times. They didn't call a foul. They didn't stop the game. They didn't call a foul. They did nothing. They did nothing. So Garnett always talked a lot of shit, but you know what I mean. We never
Yeah,
saw him
he
back
got
it
laid
up. Right, and Larry Bird was down to back it up. Like Larry, so Larry definitely wanted the fight more than Garnett did. So yeah, but
out.
so that's the thing. Do I know that 84 went? Absolutely not. I don't. You know what I mean? I like Dennis Johnson over a second year Rondo. I like Garnett either. I mean, I'm sorry, I like Bird in either matchup. With Garnett, or because I think the shit talking is really going to fuel Larry Bird. I think Garnett is going to raise Larry Bird's game to a whole nother level. Like I think
I
it's
could
good.
see what you mean.
I just think that's crazy or whatever. But at the same time, I could see them not being able to keep up with the 3-point shooting. I could see the 24 years of basketball knowledge. I could see them having no answer for a 7-foot feathery touch Kevin Garnett. I could see them
Rondo's
having no
quick too. He's tricky with that ball. Even a second year Rondo, he's quick, bro. He's crafty. And like even looking at that Boston unit, even though they had that big three, just from what I was observing, Rondo always seemed like the leader of that team.
right. No, 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 and I could see why you would say that. He definitely had a that's why like him and Ray Allen had like beef. So, Ray Allen wanted him to be in the little brother role, and Rondo didn't want that as much.
Bro,
So,
me.
yeah, don't sun me. You couldn't sun me if my father helped you. Okay, so next up, let's just go with okay, so let's go with this. So there's 3 teams left. Let's go with the 86 Celtics versus the 2011 Celtics. And everybody's healthy.
You said 86 versus 2011.
Yeah, so now so on 86 we have, the classic trio plus Dennis Johnson plus Bill Walton, Hall of Fame guys. And then we have the classic four. Now we got plus Shaq, plus Jermaine O'Neal. And albeit, it's an old Jermaine O'Neal, but it's an old Shaq too.
So with that, it comes down to the size, because even though the players in the 80s are known to be more physical and everything like that, when you add players like Shaq and Jermaine O'Neal to the equation, both of them, both O'Neals is going to be a little difficult to kind of rattle physically. Like both of these, especially Shaq, he's like a statue. But even Jermaine O'Neal, that was a very tough guy. I don't think even with the physicality they were accustomed to in the 80s, I don't think that would have phased a Jermaine O'Neal.
Well, what do you say about this? Like Kevin McHale, he's one of the best power forwards of all time. I think they have him listed at 6'11". He looks like he's 7 foot, 7'1".
Yeah, he
You know, I
does.
don't, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he has one of the weirdest bodies ever. But anyways, so he's that height, right? He's 210 pounds. That was his listed height.
210?
210 pounds.
What?
Think
That,
about it like this. Think about it like this. Think about your height and the most you've ever. What's the
yeah,
most you've ever weighed?
like 180?
180. So about 30 pounds less than him. About a foot. Looks to be about a foot and a half shorter than him. You know what I mean? But and you've never been a bulky guy, and he had all that height, only 30 more pounds on you than that.
That's crazy. Oh no. I mean, my eyes ain't working. He ain't look that little to me.
No, he didn't look 210. I mean, think about it. Did he look skinnier than Garnett?
No,
I'll tell you another weird one too. Do you know Giannis and KD are listed as the same height and weight?
I ain't mathing right now.
Each have been listed at 6'11", 240.
Somebody lying. That's somebody lying.
Well, what do you think?
I think one of them might be 240.
Who?
Giannis.
So what do
I
you think
don't know.
KD's weighing?
Or maybe it's because Giannis is more lean and it's more muscle, whereas KD might possibly got some flab that we don't know about. I don't know, but nah, they might look the same height. They definitely don't look the same weight.
Do you think they look the same height?
Giannis looks taller to me.
He might be, but you know what's weird? It's weird about bodies. I've seen people that are like fat, and that's made them look taller. I've seen people
Mhm.
because they're skinny make it look taller.
Look
I've
tall.
seen
Yeah, I've
people.
seen that
I've
too.
seen people like skinny make them look smaller. I've seen, so it's weird. It's like I don't know. It's
How
just I
you
guess
carry
how.
it.
Yeah, I guess it's how you carry in your body and you're all that. All right, so let's get back into this because we went through all this and we're almost at the end. So you got 11 over 86. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Slightly. It's on you though.
No, 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 no. I'm gonna go ahead and go with 1186. Like I said, I thought that was that best team there. I think with everybody coming off the bench as well, that 11 had, I think 11 just destroys their bench with basically making threes versus twos. Really, really, what it comes down to me is just 25 more years of knowledge. By
Mhm.
2011, I'm not saying that we were heavy into them, but we were definitely aware that corner threes were good shots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just think with the analytics and the players they had and the caliber of player, like I said, I think the talent is a wash. I think you have Larry Bird, who's probably the best player. To be honest with you, where the '86 Celtics were in their age, you could argue they had the top three players.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Versus where
Yeah.
the
Very deep.
2011, yeah, you could argue that. I
Well,
wouldn't, but yeah, because I would say Bird is by far the best player in that series. So yeah, I just like but I just like the Celtics, 2 through 12, and I like the 25 more years of knowledge. But, could I see the 86 Celtics winning? Absolutely. That's like a 7 game pick 'em series. If you played 101 series, I think the 11 Celtics would have 51 versus 50. Um, so moving on then. So then we have the 2011 Celtics versus the 2008 Celtics. Who you got?
2011.
Why? They are a second round team that lost in five.
Are we talking? Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah.
with Shaq.
Are we still talking healthy Shaq, or we're just
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
just
no,
that?
no, no, no. We're talking healthy Shaq, and then if you remember too, Rondo got his arm dislocated in the second round against the Heat as well. So he was only
Yeah.
playing with one arm. He
Yeah.
got it
I
dislocated
mean,
by I want to say Wade in game one,
what?
game two.
I do remember though that was gruesome. But yeah, I mean, if we're talking healthy, I feel as though 2011, yeah, Shaq.
You
You
know
feel
what's
me? What you
weird
gonna
though?
do?
You know what's weird though?
Huh.
When you think about it like this, so 2011 versus 2008, I'd rather have 2011 Rondo versus 2008 Rondo, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I
Okay, but
mean,
I'd rather
because
have,
he had. Oh my bad.
but I'd rather have 2008 Allen.
Um. Yeah, I get that.
Okay, and I'd rather have 2008 Pierce, and I'd rather have
Now,
2008 Garnett. But I would rather have Shaq over Kendrick Perkins. So what I'm saying is the 2008 squad, they still clear it in 3 out of the 5 positions.
I
So
like
no,
that healthy strategy.
I'm with you on this, but I'm just saying where are you coming from this? Because I'm with you on this. Sounds
So for
nuts when
me,
we say this.
so for me, I feel like that healthy Shaq is for me, that's a huge factor because we've already seen what Shaq is able to do when he's healthy. We've already seen how dominant he can be. You put the pieces like let's say this isn't the best version of Ray Allen. This isn't the best version of Paul Pierce, but these are still elite players at this point in time. You feel me? They're still doing the job that they're supposed to do. But then you have, like I said, this dominant Shaq, Rondo.
But
Rondo
then again,
playing,
hold on, but wait a minute. But then again though too, Shaq was efficient with the Celtics, but he wasn't dominant. He was only getting you like 9 points a game in 20 minutes. I mean, he was shooting like 57% or whatever. But do you think that it was so much he was there? It's so much, but you had to respect Shaq and then send a double team, and then that sags your defense and puts it in a rotating defense
yeah,
instead of
because
sticking
this
on your
is
man.
already, yeah, because this is already after they've adapted the Hacker Shack. Just his presence alone makes you have to focus on him. So Shaq is a good decoy. You feel me? So as long as Shaq is still able to move around and everything like that, you have to pay attention to him. You have to double him. You can't one on one him. So let's say Ray isn't shooting like he normally does, or Paul Pierce isn't shooting like he normally does. KG is good mid range. You feel me?
Mhm.
So I just feel like they could have picked up. Let's see who else we had on that 11. We had Perkins, Davis, Troy Murphy was a shooter.
Troy
AB
Murphy was a
Brown.
really underrated guy. He was like 15 and 10 one season, which is really solid numbers.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel as though with them having the same core, but the addition of Shaq, you feel me? I just feel as though for me, that's the reason why I'm going with 2011.
Well, to me, wouldn't you say the progression of Rondo was a much bigger deal than the addition of Shaq, or no?
Well, you know, okay. So without saying it, that was kind of like an unspoken for me when it comes to Rondo. That's why I was saying Rondo was like the captain of that team. I made that point earlier because of the fact that I feel as though we're watching Rondo get better and better until that team got broken up. So
Hey,
yeah,
if you value the eye test, and I guess we can do it argue numbers, but definitely in the eye test, um, we watched Rondo outplay a, MVP LeBron one year, and that was the year before 11. And then we also
he's a
watched him
psychological player. You feel me?
yeah.
I remember Doc said it when Rondo was younger. He was like, Rondo's one of the smartest players he's ever come across. And he was just like, it wasn't just intellectually, but he was like, he is intellectual, but he was like, it's a basketball IQ thing. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. You got the basketball IQ of Rondo. He's only getting better. You got Shaq who's making you have to focus all the time. You got these Hall of Fame players Katie, Ray Allen, you got Big Baby Glenn Davis, doing dirty work. Kendra Perkins also out there doing dirty work. Jeff
Jermaine
Green out
O'Neal.
there doing Jermaine. So this, yeah, reasons like this.
Wasn't Marquise Daniels on there too?
He was on there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
reasons
no,
like that.
no, I'm with you too. But I'm just saying, I want you to think about this. When we went through and we broke it down logically and by the
Hmm.
numbers and all that, we came with the conclusion we think 2011 Celtics would beat any other Celtics team. And that's a wild conclusion to come to. And I've been
Crazy,
saying that
right?
for years. I've been saying
You
that
know
for
what?
years. Nobody been
Because they
listening.
have enough. You know why? Because they have enough. 2011 has enough of the old and enough of what the game evolved into. You feel me? Because they still got the game is all about shooting now. But guess what? Part of the reason the game is all about shooting now is because who they had on their team, Ray Allen. It's his DNA. It's what Ray Allen did that caused the Steph Currys, that caused what we're seeing now. So yeah, I say that to say everything that you got from the old school, you get in players like a Davis, a Perkins, even a Green. You feel me? O'Neal, both. And then the things that you're seeing nowadays that you need to win, you're getting that out of a KG. You're getting that out of a Ray Allen. Getting that out of a Paul Pierce.
Here's just the thing but here's the thing. No matter what anybody says, if any shot, as long as it's effective, it's effective, and then it doesn't matter. So what I mean by that is like, so mid-range shots would be the least effective shots out of basically the three shots you can take: threes, mid-range, layups, dunks. You know what I mean? If you break it
Hmm.
down the court by like threes.
Yeah,
So,
I get it.
by thirds, right. So, but if you're Kevin Garnett, you're an effective mid-range shooter. So it doesn't matter now that you're
Like,
playing in the lands of threes, you're still effective. Shaq, they don't post up, but Shaq's an effective post-up player. So you will still post up. Rondo,
hmm
even though he does not really a scorer, which is really weird because you've seen series games where if he wants to
Burks, he
score,
get
he
hot
yeah, he can score. But he has the ability to get to the rim, and
whenever he
that's
wants.
all. Right, and that's worth something. He also has the ability to defend and pass, so that's always worth something. And you have to, and even though it's below and not that good, you still have to like respect his corner three. He has like a weird, like he is weird with his shot. You know what's crazy too? You remember when they used to do the horse competition at All Star Weekend?
Yeah, I do.
There's one year where KD couldn't shake him, so they just started shooting threes just back and forth, and Rondo didn't miss. They made
I
like
remember.
20, 25 in a row or some crazy number that you would not think Rondo to do. And that was, what was that? Probably like second, third year Rondo or something like that. It was definitely like a less, not as good shooter as Rondo and all that. Hey, speaking of which, I want to ask you something before we go. I mean, we're already over
Mm.
time, but we're the last one on of the night, so fuck it. But hold on. Did you see this yet? This shit is crazy, bro. You know how they do the jersey swaps?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, have you seen this? This is
Probably
they're
did,
saying
but
this is the all time. Saying it's the all time.
Yeah. Go, there you go. That's it. You get it?
Ace is killing me.
So what'd you think of
No,
Anthony Black and Dick? What's his name? Grayson Dick? Gregory Dick? One's averaging 4 points a game this year, the other's averaging six.
uh,
But with their
I'm,
powers combined,
bro, a couple of things popped on my head. Like that's a wild jersey exchange, and then also why? Like, why are these two exchanging jerseys?
well, you saw what it said, right?
I seen what it said. I mean, and that's the reason why it's wild, but it still doesn't answer the question as to why. I mean, that's why they swap jerseys so they can put their names together and it say something wild. Like,
That's it. Because there's a video too where they're like, hey, go. Uh, they're like, go get him, go get him, go get him.
okay, got it. Okay,
Grady, that's his name, Grady. But
that's
yeah,
hilarious, bro. But yeah.
there's there's another one where they got it's on his Instagram too. I tried to upload it, but I couldn't upload the picture. It's a picture of him when he played at college or whatever. I forget where he played, but because I don't watch college basketball at all. But anyways, so it said big, and it had his jersey, and then it said energy underneath.
I did see that. Hey, I have been seeing crazy stuff like that lately. That's funny.
So,
But
because I
yeah,
know you're more of a college ball watcher than me, so I don't know if you ever caught that back in the day. But same
I
dude, if
did
you
see
did.
that. There was some clips. I gotta try to find a clip. But yeah,
Yes.
the reason I'm laughing is because I literally just saw a clip of something like that a couple days ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Such as the
It was
energy or the jersey swap.
the energy. The jersey swap I seen too, but no, the energy is something that I seen. I think it was on Sunday. Yeah.
Yo, would you hey, you remember in Above the Rim?
Hmm.
You remember when he was playing himself, or no, he was playing with no ball himself?
He's playing that so yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this what if he like leveled up into
He's
this?
really playing one-on-one in another world.
Come on, bro. That's a foul.
What the fuck?
That's a foul. What do you mean it ain't a foul, bro? You fouled me.
This
What
is
are you
crazy.
talking about, bro? I'm right there. Bro, you
Wrong.
want me to replay? Bro, look it, bro. Replay. Look it, you got my arm, bro. That's a foul, bro. Check off.
This wild.
Bro, you can't guard me, bro. Uh-huh. Bro, you can't guard me, bro. You can't guard me. I'm trying to
This is
tell
crazy at the court.
you. What are you talking about? Bro? 13. It's 13, bro. It is 13. I hit the 2 and it's 12. 13. Come on, bro.
This is really crazy.
Oh, yeah. Get him off the feet. Oh, yeah. Get him behind. Get him behind. Get him behind. You trash, bro. You can't guard me. You can't guard me here. You can't guard me there, bro. I'll play you wherever. Check ball, bro.
It's wild.
Trash, bro. Ain't point, bro. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Do you think that's some next level shit or?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. He's ahead of time. You feel me? Pretty soon, that's what basketball is going to consist of. People with headgear balling against themselves.
So that's what I'm saying. Do you think that was like AI in there, or like he was doing it against some other dude on some other court somewhere else?
Oh no, he must have smoked that old
Because
weed.
because because he because he always knew exactly where the rim was in real life.
I don't know. Like, them VR things are weird now. You feel me? It might even. I don't know. I wouldn't put it
I
past
don't
them
even
to
think
have.
I've ever really wore one, like an at home one.
Yeah, they're dangerous. They're dangerous. I'm mindful of my surroundings for the most part, but I've definitely seen how they can be dangerous because you lose all perception of like spacing and everything like that. And you may know you got this much room, but you put those goggles on and you move. Now all of a sudden you right here, you get to swing in on something. You done shattered your window. So yeah, they're dangerous.
When was the last time you had one on at home?
I think last week I was playing with the boys. Yeah, probably at some point last week or the week before.
And it's like one of the newer generation ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Dangerous.
mean, but so do you think he could do like where you're playing at just any court and you got the exact dimensions of the basketball hoop and all that?
Not what I've seen, but I wouldn't put it past them. I've been seeing all kinds of stuff. Like I just seen one where a dude looked like he was actually at the game. Like he was the way that he was seeing everything, it was almost as if he was on the court. So if let's say you got one of them on, I can definitely see you making buckets or being right in line with where the rim is.
So would you ever do it?
Go out on the court with it? No, I'm too old.
Why?
Mm-mm, I'm too old.
Why?
Accidents happen. I need all kinds of health insurance and stuff like that. Something end up, yeah, just too many things can go wrong at this age. That's why. No,
Hey, you wouldn't even be the oldest player in the league right now. You'd be like the second
I'd be
oldest.
one of them.
No, so
That's
you'd be
old
like,
enough.
no. That means you're one of the young guys. Yep, yep. Means you're one of the young guys.
Until the young guys come around and call us the old folks.
No, but that's what I'm saying. See, like me, since I'm a couple months older than him, I'd be the old guy.
You be the oldest in the league. You feel me? You be the OG.
That's what I mean.
That's what you have
So,
to hear everywhere you go. What's up, OG?
but what I'm saying is, so since I see him, he's kind of my thing. Since I'm like, oh, we're only a couple months. Obviously, if I was a athlete like that, I could play still theoretically in the league at my age. That's how I look at it.
Oh,
So
no, no,
I
no.
guess so. The point that I'm making is so you're not too old to be on the court doing it. You could do it
No,
still. Put
no.
them on.
I ain't too old to be on the court at my level. I'm not an athlete. So I am too old to be out there doing foolishness like this.
No, you got it.
But no,
You
I
got it.
ain't.
No,
I'm out to train for the AI Olympics. I got it.
all right though. So yeah, we're out. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Please like,
All right.
subscribe. Till then, we'll see y'all tomorrow. We're doing Lakers tomorrow, so wish us luck.